Kick to the gut. I like it.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it on a Sunday afternoon. Even though you're watching this on a Monday afternoon, have we stepped into a time warp? What's going on, Foreign?
I have no idea, bro, but I know it's all because of you.
I know it is. Mr. Young here.
Ed is Foreign in the building.
What's
Mr.
up?
Young, happy holidays and enjoy your holidays.
Thank you. At this point, while you're watching this on the YouTube, if you're watching the premiere live, well, not really live, I'm actually out getting ready to go on my cruise. So that's why we're recording this on a Sunday afternoon, okay? So in a few hours, I'll be sailing away. Remember that T-Pain and Lonely Island song? I'm on a boat. I'm on a motherfucking boat. Yeah. That's me. That's going to be me in a few hours, baby.
Nice, bro. I mean, let me know how it goes. Give me all your reviews. I heard the internet very expensive, on the board, the ship.
Bro, it's like $20 a day.
What?
That's why I'm going to, use this time to go incommunicado, as they say.
Very good to detach from the world a bit. You know, like enjoy the breeze, lah, bro.
And all the sea breeze. And bro, I'm going to take like a social media cleanse, but get this, I'm not going to announce it. You know how people always like to announce, I am going on a social media cleanse for, like, who gives a fuck? Like, just go. You know?
Just go.
Just go. I'm going to do that, bro. I'm not going to announce it on my Instagram. I'll just not post stories for a few days. So if you're wondering what happened, Mr. Young, I'm going on a cruise.
Nice. I mean, if they're here on the podcast, they're listening on our live stream, they will know what's going on. They know what's good in the hood.
Yes. And if you're listening to this on Spotify or somewhere in the future, then, well, hey, I'm probably back already, lah.
I mean, bro, I think it's right. I think you deserve a social media cleanse. Yeah. Especially after this whole week of wrestling. Too much, bro. Overload, bro.
I'm going on a wrestling cleanse as well, and I'm really looking forward to it because remember last week we were asking each other, is there such a thing as too much wrestling?
We are very close to that point, bro.
You're close. I already went over. I jumped over already,
Bro, 2 episodes into our new season, we already done with wrestling.
Maybe you can put me into the mass wrestling fan category. I'm not the diehard then. Because I'm sure for the diehards, this is like, you can watch wrestling 24/7, right? But for me, after watching this entire week's worth of wrestling, I actually really do feel burnt out. So there is such a thing as wrestling burnout.
Yeah. Imagine if you're a wrestler then.
Yeah, right?
Can you imagine?
I mean, if you're a wrestler, you probably are not really watching the rest of the products as well. You're just doing your thing, right? You don't have time to. There's too much.
Yeah, very hard to be a student of the game, especially when the game is very tiring to watch, if you know what I mean.
You talking about Mr. Levesque, or you talking about the wrestling industry as a whole, bro?
I mean, I'm full of double entendres, bro. So take what you will from me, right?
It's time to play, and it's time to talk about wrestling. Okay, let's dive right into it. Let's go all the way back to Monday, okay? Did anything really stand out to you on Monday Night Raw?
I mean, the only thing I enjoyed about Monday was our episode and when we got to talk to people on our Discord and our Patreon.
Oh, yes. And I love that you brought that in because please join us on the Discord. Link is in the description right there.
Yes. And shout out to the 3 patrons that signed up and wanted to pledge their support for the podcast. Our mid-carder, if you can see the shadow, is on our ticker.
That's right, because he has pledged, and thank you very much. We totally 100% appreciate that. So this is our Patreon page, just to get this out of the way, patreon.com/kicktothegut, right? You can, select your membership level, and like we always say, only commit to what you can. If you can't, never mind, just come and be part of the wrestling, the Kick to the Gut community on our Discord. Come and chat, join in the conversations. What do you think about this event, that piece of news, everything we want to know.
Yeah, we're very thankful for this first week of letting the Discord go live and to see like some of you who are regular sending us information. And thanks, Young, for teaching me how to mark spoilers in the Discord.
I know. Discord is a very... I feel like it's a bit of a steep learning curve. That's why your mainstream like social media user doesn't really get into Discord, I feel.
Yeah, who does you use it usually?
It's gamers? a lot of gamers. So that's how we build communities in our like Twitch channel. Like I have my own Discord for my gaming channel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's cool. It's cool. I think definitely if we all of us love wrestling and like to have a common spot to talk about it, that's great. I mean, of course, and it's also an addition from our usual stuff like our Instagram. We'll always still post there.
Well, the best thing about Discord is it's not just us. You can chat with other like-minded pro wrestling friends and fans and fam. So once again, shout out to DeShadow who jumped in on the mid-card tier. That's why not only does he have the live stream ticker shoutouts, which is right there below, you can see he's in our exclusive Discord channel, early access to YouTube content. There are higher tiers as well. You can see it at your own leisure. Don't worry about it.
When we say early access to our YouTube content, this past weekend, we just put out our Battle of the Belts preview video. Very short. We talk about who we want to win each title in each division in AEW, and he got early access to that.
And interestingly enough, some of those predictions, did they come true? Did they not come true? Because we are going to talk about Battle of the Belts in just a little while. It just happened today as we are recording it, okay? But we'll get to it in just a bit. So, okay, that's Patreon. We talked about Discord. Once again, come join us on Discord. We'd love to just hang out and chat. Make friends. Everybody, friends, fam, fans. Yeah, it's the 3 Fs.
Yeah, man. Cheers to that. Cheers to the merch as well. Cheers to the merch. Come on, let's go.
Yes, exclusive. Cheers, clank. All right.
All right, bro.
Let's jump into this week's wrestling. So we start off Monday Night Raw. Obviously, the main event is the biggest takeaway, right?
Yes, correct.
I mean, look, we all know the amount of talent they have. And finally now, and it's always like this, every year is a cycle like this. During the pre-Rumble season, it's a bit of a drag. Everyone's on holiday mode. They're just, okay, just do show for the sake of it. But now we're building towards the Rumble. And of course, that builds towards WrestleMania.
Yeah. And we talk about day one, how Brock Lesnar was added at the last minute to the Fatal 5-Way. So cut subject to change, right?
For better or for worse. And in this case, obviously we don't wish anybody to get COVID or get sick or anything like that, but it really forced their hand, and now we have a very intriguing road to WrestleMania.
We have a very intriguing Raw main event channel. And also on top of that, bro, they gave us the match that they wanted to advertise at day one on free TV on Raw.
Which is the Fatal 4-Way lah.
Which is the Fatal 4-Way. And they still delivered even without Brock Lesnar in the match.
Yes. These four were always going to deliver. I am actually, I know a lot of people are upset that Big E, had his title reign cut so fast. But let's be very honest lah. Was he doing anything for you as champion? I feel like we've said this before. He feels like a transitionary champion.
He has the Kofi vibes. It's well deserved that he got the reign. Yeah. But I know for a fact that he ain't gonna keep it long. They are not gonna keep him as a champion going to WrestleMania. That was just, even without Brock Lesnar being part of the match, I thought he was gonna drop it to whoever. Yeah, like a Lashley. Oh, even Lashley, right? And this goes back to, I know we bringing up every week, but they haven't been able to build a new star, a breakout star, somebody we are clamoring to see both in the men's division and the women's division. Yeah, and I have no one else to blame but WWE themselves, to be honest. And so, we had the Fatal 4-Way, strong showing by Bobby Lashley. So now he's going on to Royal Rumble to challenge Brock Lesnar. So we finally get that quote-unquote dream match, that MMA match, right? Yeah, that's interesting. And it's kind of like a nice change of pace because we haven't seen this match before, and to have a fresh matchup in 2022, that is something. Is it because a lot of people have been clamoring for this matchup because of their MMA past, right? Even though, honestly, one is like an NBA level, one is a high school level. Maybe not so far. Maybe one is collegiate level, one is NBA level of MMA. Not that bad, bro. Yeah. No, it's not that it's that bad, but you know what I mean, right? Yeah. Not as well recognized as a MMA player. Like a UFC player, So, and he was like the UFC champion, no less. Yeah, so, for sure. It's still an intriguing match, and I think they're doing the right thing in that, all right, we have it as a main event of Rumble. Because, Rumble is still one of the big fours, but it's not going to be a needle mover. I'm going to keep using that term now. I actually like that shirt, It's not going to be a needle mover, not fitting for the main event of WrestleMania. Now, the main event of WrestleMania, they've already planted seeds thanks to what went down on SmackDown. Yes, indeed. And also, I feel like as good as Lashley and Brock Lesnar should be, I mean, it's definitely going to be a better powerhouse match than Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg, for sure. Yeah. I feel like Lashley's time in the main event, I think it's kind of coming to an end. This could be his last hurrah. And at least for him, we know personally that he always wanted, he's been campaigning to have a match with Brock Lesnar. So it's good that we gave like the wrestlers what they want as well.
So, okay, then my question to you is, right, obviously Brock has to maintain his title all the way to WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
So how does this match go down? How do you do it in a way where, like, we know the main event, we know the outcome already. How do you make it compelling, even though we know the outcome?
I think it will be compelling if actually WWE presents Lashley as Brock Lesnar's equal.
Okay.
Give him a very dominant run in the match where he actually is able to go toe-to-toe with Brock Lesnar, because he kind of like gave a bit of a preview during day one, speared him through the barricade, could match him up in terms of intensity, spear versus, the F5. So I think as long as they present Lashley as a legitimate challenge and Brock Lesnar actually escapes with the title instead of like having a decisive victory, it still builds up Lashley.
So basically no squash lah. I want to go back to day one, like you mentioned as well. First of all, we talked about how short that match was, and it had to be, right? But I don't know if you noticed, I think they played it perfectly as well. Anytime Brock was in danger was only because he got attacked from behind or double teamed. So that's how you preserve him being like this dominant champion, right? And Lashley and Lesnar had interaction, but very little, which is, hey, because you want to sell that next match, right? That was perfect.
Yeah. And also, I think it's the best kind of booking when at the end of a pay-per-view or at the end of a Raw, the intrigue to see something is there, as opposed to like, I don't want to see what happens next on Raw,
Yes, I agree. And also the wild cards, Paul Heyman and MVP, how are they going to factor into it? Yeah. I think it's interesting. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't put it at the main event of WrestleMania, but definitely the main event of Royal Rumble. Yes, let's go. Let's do it. I'm excited. Royal
you're
Rumble.
right. And thanks for bringing up Paul Heyman, because Paul Heyman officially is back aligned with Brock Lesnar, right? And I love when Brock Lesnar says, "Everyone acknowledge me."
Obviously throwing shade at Roman Reigns. Okay, before we jump into SmackDown, I think we'll just stay on the WWE train first before we move on to AEW.
Yep.
Did anything else on Raw pique your interest? It's a 3-hour show, man.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, did they? Okay, I know for a fact that they started with Brock Lesnar. Then after that, there was a bit of like some tag team developments with Otis and Alpha Academy. But like I said, it's very hard for us to get involved. Like even when Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch, like that's gonna happen.
But
like Liv Morgan doesn't have her opportunity anymore.
And let's face it lah, I don't think she did the best job of her opportunity. Like I said before, in the ring, all right, passable, but as far as like compelling promos, intriguing character, is not there at all. Bianca Belair obviously should be the next person to challenge, right? But now was it next week you get like a 3-way or is it a 4-way? I forget, because now Doudrop is involved as well.
Yes, it's a 3-way.
Okay, go ahead. It's Lag City. Lag City is back, baby. Bro, wow, the lag, you froze at a perfect spot. Look at your eyes. Okay, that's why we set up a Patreon, so that we can get foreign, like better internet. All right, guys. But let's go back to the women's division. And I want to bring up something. Please remind me to talk about the women's division when we head into our review of SmackDown. And consequently the women's Royal Rumble. But the other thing of note, I suppose, is Alexa Bliss's journey back to Raw.
Yes. It's supposedly happening this week, right?
What the fuck is that? No, I'm sorry, but what the fuck is that? Like, I'm sorry, but are they going to make this some sort of inspirational thing? Or is it going to be vignettes? Or I guess there is intrigue there, but why not just have her as a surprise entrant at the Rumble? She's obviously going to be back in time for the Rumble.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know whether them viewing or like announcing it beforehand helps. Does it help you?
No,
Or does it make it worse?
I feel like it killed the surprise. It really killed the surprise because the Royal Rumble is all about surprises, right?
Yep.
Unless they have a bigger name than Alexa Bliss returning, then okay, fine. And to have it sort of like announced as like a static graphic type thing or video, like, you know, a lame video on Raw, she didn't even show up. So I was like, okay. I mean, obviously this is just the start of it. Maybe it will lead to big things. Who knows, right? We could be just like overreacting at this point. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of how they're presenting this. And you know what? I'll just go straight into SmackDown because I don't think there is anything else to talk about on Raw that is of note, right? So moving into SmackDown, they announced a whole bunch of names for the Women's Royal Rumble in a package. And this is another thing. Why are you naming all the returns? Michelle McCool, Summer Rae, I think is coming back.
Yes,
Lita.
The Bella Twins.
The Bella Twins. Why not have them as a surprise? Once again, Alexa Bliss, they didn't announce as being in the Rumble, I don't think. So I don't know what's going on there. I think she'll announce when she finally returns to Raw, right? Maybe they want to pop a rating on Raw. But this is what I noticed when they played that video package on SmackDown. The live crowd reaction. Did you notice what I noticed?
As in, I mean, they did pop for some of the like legends.
Bro, they only pop for the legends. That's my point. Go back and watch it, right? Like none of the new girls they pop. I mean, like some maybe got like varying amounts of like a Rhea Ripley or whatever. But when the legends names come out, they're like excited, right? But the current stars, they like couldn't give two fucks.
Yeah. You know which announcement? Or the one that I really got shocked by that broke the internet.
Well, I don't think it broke the internet, to be honest, but I know who you're talking about. The Impact Knockouts champion, Mickie James.
I can't believe they acknowledged it. Like the company name. This must be the first, right?
Yeah, well, no, they have with other companies before lah. So
they've acknowledged Impact by making fun of them, but like not it's like giving them their due, you know.
Well, I think they just don't see Impact as much of a competitor at all. They'll say, okay lah, can lah. Like Mickie James as a Hall of Famer, like a WWE legend, is a bigger title than the Impact's Knockout Women's Champion, I feel.
Mm-hmm. What does this mean though? Is this gonna be a one-off?
It's gonna be a one-off. You know why? Because they got nobody to fill up the Rumble. Is so sad. It's so even Charlotte Flair said she was entering the Rumble. I'm like, yeah, I know why. Because you can't go and defend your championship because you have and there's nobody lined up, right? Sasha Banks is injured. She injured her foot at a live event.
Yep.
And so she got nobody to defend her belt against. So she's going to be in the Rumble. I don't know how that's going to work out. And also they need to pair the Rumble with people because they have nobody of interest. I'm sorry. When they played that video, I was like, I don't see any potential winners here.
They literally released an entire roster's worth of women.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so I think they have about 11, 12 more names to fill in. Why are they going to drag all of NXT's talent? I can see Raquel Gonzalez, Io Shirai in there.
Yeah. I mean, no one's watching this.
Oh dear. Okay.
Let's be honest.
We're going to have to ride through this lag spike once again. Hashtag get foreign better internet. Head to our Patreon page. Oh God. Oh, lovely. Look at that smile. Look at that
I don't know
smile.
whether it's because it's a week.
Oh, it's probably because it's the weekend, yeah. And other people in the household may be using your internet connection or whatnot. It is what it is. Anyway, let's get back to it. So the state of the WWE women's division is not good, man. I'm not saying there's no good talent. I'm just saying, what have they done with it? And I want to get to that Naomi nonsense all over again. It's
Go for it, bro.
Can you please explain, like, how long has this been going on?
The Naomi and Sonya Deville thing?
Yeah. So Naomi had a match with Charlotte Flair on SmackDown, right? And
Yep.
Yeah, and then Sonya Deville came out and did all her bullshit heel bias stuff. But to what end? Is Sonya Deville going to step into the ring anytime soon?
It's been months and
no payoff.
I lost track.
Yeah, no payoff, no reason. Is she racist? Is she based on her glow or what? Like, why? Why are you so against Naomi of all people? You know? Like give us a reason.
And then making her a heel, and then still be faced in other situations is weird also.
Yeah, I feel like, you know what it is, and WWE is guilty, or has been guilty of doing this. It's like, okay, like we need to put some obstacles in Naomi's way just to give her sympathy heat, but we have no reason. We didn't script a reason. Just give her until we figure it out. And then it's been months. They still haven't figured it out. You know? So anyway.
Yeah. It's hard to watch the rest of the roster.
Yeah, it is. Oh, okay. Moving on to the SmackDown main event then. We got Roman Reigns, of course. He's back and he's healthy. It's interesting, they cleared him like only a few days after they announced he had COVID. So I feel like, they probably knew he had the COVID already. They only announced it on the day just to so they don't want to announce it days before lah. He came back and there was this whole thing with Paul Heyman. It was an interesting dynamic. It's like, one, you are with your ex and your current girlfriend, and then like Paul Heyman in between. It was quite funny. And then it's funny because the way Brock treats Heyman as well, sometimes he's like, shut up. Just shut up. You know, like he kind of treats him like it's a bit of an abusive relationship, that one.
Bro, it's like gaslighting, bro.
Yeah.
Gaslighting at its finest.
I really want, I bet, I'm pretty sure they're doing it just to make Paul Heyman like, you know, still have the intrigue about him. But is he really with Roman? I mean, with Brock, or does he still have the allegiances? My feeling is that he will. Siri just... I didn't say Siri. I don't know why Siri is so sensitive. Anyway, sorry about that. My feeling is that he will reveal his true allegiance at WrestleMania, and it'll be Roman Reigns.
It would make sense. It would make sense to carry the guy, the main man now.
Yeah.
But I have no idea how you're going to keep it interesting, because I'm also worried that it's going to be Sonya Deville situation.
Oh.
Where you know, like where it takes too long. By the time WrestleMania comes, they're like, just get it over and done with already.
Bro, by Heyman, in Heyman, I trust. So I drink the Heyman Kool-Aid. I don't think he can do anything wrong in this position, because I mean, pun not intended, but he is the MVP of the WWE right now. Like, yes, Brock, Roman, I'm sure they could do it by themselves, but without Heyman being the glue, being the intrigue, it wouldn't be at the level it is.
But it's so weird that the most compelling character is like a part-time 50-plus-year-old manager.
Like I said, even without him, this works. It just wouldn't work quite as well. It's an indictment on the rest of the storylines. It's tough because you want WrestleMania season to be super happening. Every storyline should be popping right now, but we shall see. I mean, it's still early days. Hasn't even Royal Rumble yet. Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? The true road to WrestleMania starts at the Royal Rumble, depending on who wins the Rumble. So, interestingly enough, that means for the men's side of things, like, it's very weird. Look at the men's and the women's division, right? On the men's side, you have a winner of a Rumble that will challenge, but the main event of the WrestleMania is already set. So how is that gonna turn out? Because hey, there are 2 nights. Maybe they can do what like Wrestle Kingdom did, right? Like the winner of the Rumble challenges somebody at night 1, or some weird combination, or somebody has to do double duty basically.
I think it makes sense for them to have like the champion versus champion unify the title.
The internet doesn't want to hear what Foreign has to say about the title unification right about now. So sorry, go ahead, bro.
Sorry. What do you hear what I said? Like about the Royal Rumble winner?
No, not a bit.
Okay, as in what I'm saying is like the first night should be the unification, and then the second night should be the winner of that match fighting against the Royal Rumble winner.
Wow, that's a lot, bro. Also,
that's heavy.
Speaking of which, Seth Rollins will be challenging Roman Reigns at Royal Rumble. Brand split be damned. So here we go. I mean, they needed a big marquee match for Rumble. I get it, right? And they have history. They were the Shield. I get it. But so much for your brand split.
Yep. Out of nowhere, it was random.
I mean, the moment where he opened the door and then like he when he knocked on the door, he did like the Shield music knock, like
Yeah.
you know, that was cool, right? That was interesting. And then he's there like ha 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 and doing his idiot like evil laugh, and then Roman going like, oh fuck, not this guy, you know, like. I love that segment so much. It's so pro wrestling. It's awesome, right? But where do we go from there?
It would have been awesome if this happened earlier last year. Do you remember Cesaro and Seth Rollins?
Yeah.
Then in transition to Cesaro versus Reigns, right? And at that point, Rollins was somehow in the vicinity, you know, like wanting to challenge for the title as well. That would have made sense. I mean, it's great that they picked up months later.
Yep.
But they need to hit it up really fast because they only got 3 weeks to build a reason for this.
Sure. Okay, so then I don't know how this will impact. I mean, if anything, not knowing how this will impact WrestleMania is a good thing, right? It just means they need to pivot. They need to figure it out. I mean, can you imagine the main event of night 1 is Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, and then Roman Reigns wins and is challenged by The Rock, and then we have Rock versus Roman Reigns on night 2. Can you imagine that, bro?
No, I can't, because that ain't gonna happen, bro. They ain't gonna be that dumb and throw all their remaining bullets, you know, for this WrestleMania.
Okay, Stone Cold is there. Maybe Stone Cold will be. Wait, is this year Dallas?
Yes, this is Stone Cold territory.
Stone Cold versus... Oh, no, like, he cannot already.
I cannot. I would love for him to be part of the main event, somehow like an enforcer or like a special guest referee. That would be interesting.
I don't know. I think he would be an awesome host. Like, he would come out for a segment and, oh, hell yeah, 360 and all that huge pops. But I kind of don't want him to take the shine away from the main guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so, go ahead. Oh, once again, we have Foreign and his evil eyes.
No. You're right. I hope not. I'm not.
So that's WWE right now.
Looks like I'm steaming, bro.
You're steaming. Why are you steaming?
It looks like my eyes look like I'm steaming.
Okay, if you're just listening to this on Spotify, you're wondering what's going on, go onto our YouTube page and watch the video. We're getting these lag spike moments where you see Foreign's face freeze and it's like, he looks like he's having a certain job done. Anyway, let's move on.
Wait. I think the audio will sound just fine. If they don't know, no context, they just hear silence.
Exactly. That's why I say go to YouTube and watch the video. Okay. Let's move on then from the WWE. Okay, the other big WWE news pertains to NXT, which we will get into right now. William Regal released.
Yeah.
Really sad, but also I'm like, okay, Lord, this is really just clearing out the remnants of the black and gold brand.
Very unfortunate, bro. Like, can you imagine like loving something and then every single thing you love about it, something just changes?
Yeah, I know, right? But it's really, it almost feels like Vince going, all right, you know what? I'm getting rid of all of Triple H's, NXT influence. I want a whole brand new product.
How will you feel, sir, if you're Triple H?
I know, right? It's like, this is my father-in-law. Say, what did I do?
Yeah, I think Keith Lee put out a very interesting tweet. He said that if Triple H ever strikes out on his own and creates his own company, it'll be the best company in the world.
Paul Levesque is all elite. Let's go.
I mean, but I don't think he will, because I don't think he wants to get into that whole mess right now.
No, and he's married to Steph. I mean, at the end of the day, he'll be connected to the McMahons no matter what. And he's probably at his age, and he's like, okay, just relax, lah. I don't think he has anything to prove anymore.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if he's not as passionate as he is, because I think he is passionate about this, and he wouldn't want to see he wouldn't think this is right.
Sure.
And I think he will still. He'll play a long game. He'll wait for Vince to die.
Walao, see, that's the problem though. If the rumors are true and like Nick Khan is the heavy favorite, then Nick Khan will because Nick Khan is even less of a wrestling guy than Vince McMahon was or is. You know what I mean? He's even more of a businessman / promoter as opposed to a wrestling purist or anything like that. So I think it's even worse for Triple H in that situation. So anyway, but that being what it is, Samoa Joe was released as well once again. Oh, we'll ride through this lag spike.
Do you hear what I said?
Go ahead.
Do you hear the rumor about Disney, bro?
Oh, that what? That Disney wants to buy WWE.
Apparently, before Fox licensed SmackDown, WWE actually tried to sell the whole of WWE under the Fox brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then clearly Fox wasn't comfortable yet because they haven't like had history with WWE. So they just like, hey, let's try. So actually the SmackDown deal is actually a try, test water with them.
Right. Well, I mean, hey, if they sell to Disney, that would be awesome. That would mean I only need one app. Disney Plus, let's go. Fucking watch my
Disney
wrestling,
Plus,
watch my Marvel. Wow, show live. I don't mind. I fuck a peacock, man. Give me Disney Plus.
Bro, it made the wrestling into MCU, I don't mind. So.
Walao, can you imagine Iron Man come and wrestle? Okay, that might be a bit too much already. Too much already. Yeah. Regardless of what,
get ahead of
regardless of what it is, it will still continue on as a business. It will appeal to the masses. It won't be the wrestling that we remember or we love. And thankfully, there's AEW and there's other stuff for that. I say that, but also, it's not like AEW doesn't have its own problems, lah. But every company will have their own problems. So
yeah. But the thing is, I don't want to rely on AEW to be my wrestling also, because they also have their own set of problems as well.
Exactly.
Problems. So it seems like I can't get a perfect wrestling blend that I want.
There's no such thing. Even when we look back with rose-tinted glasses on the Attitude Era, it wasn't perfect. There was a lot of rubbish. We look back at the Ruthless Aggression Era, Golden Era, New Generation Era. There was always something great, something not so great, and that's how life is. There's no perfect situation, man.
Can you say that the NXT Black and Gold was actually the purest form of wrestling that a wrestling fan can enjoy?
It got close. It was a combination of everything that made wrestling exciting. Like the new, like some of the Japanese style, there, and then some of the flippity-floppity shit, but with WWE influence. So it was like a blend of everything. And then Vince was like, nope. Golden egg NXT.
I think that's the reason they made it super indie, but with Hollywood production. I think that's the best way to put it. Because Ring of Honor was always doing this kind of wrestling already. AEW or New Japan were doing all this, but it had the WWE shine. Problem is WWE never wanted to be an indie federation. No,
they want the mass market. They want mainstream at the end of the day, and it makes sense for them in a business sense. That's why they can very easily let go of this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy, as far as it affects their bottom line, because they're probably like, we're the WWE. The brand value is in the company.
It's tough. It's tough for wrestling because you're very conflicted, because you have our memories of what we enjoy about wrestling, simpler times. But then again, like Marvel went through the same situation as well.
Yes and no. Like I know the argument sometimes, you shouldn't have, one company dominating everything. And there's an argument that, like, this current Spider-Man Far From Home or No Way Home would not have been what it was if Sony didn't own some of the characters, stuff like that. And I still say that because Kevin Feige being the head of Marvel Studios, all of a sudden we're going to Marvel talk. There are a lot of connections, if you think about it, right? Because there is that one guy, that singular vision, and he loves the product. That's why this works. When he goes away, then we'll see the problems that are plaguing the WWE right now. And if they start becoming only solely focused on the bottom line, which is what is going on with, like, let's say like a Warner Brothers and the DC universe, where every sort of project, we must connect together, but all different people in charge. They are not connected by one head guy. Too many hands, too many cooks spoil the soup, as they say. And that's what you get, lah.
My connection, or like my comparison with Marvel, right, was in the 90s. Did Marvel become bankrupt?
Yes, they went bankrupt and they licensed out a whole bunch of their. So that's why Spider-Man and the characters in that group were sold to Sony. X-Men sold to Fox.
Don't you think that WWE is in that situation? I mean, they're not going to be bankrupt. But it's as if like their golden age is like down, and like now what they're trying to do is they're trying to capitalize on their IP. So that's why they keep licensing the things that they do. And the only way to like bring us back to that golden era is we actually have a fan take over the company, or like a Kevin Feige figure, like who can give love to
Tony Khan is that guy, bro. Tony Khan is that guy. Anyway,
seems like it.
Yeah. But let's move on from the comparisons. It's kind of like comparing apples to oranges, though. You know, if you think about it, and that's a whole different podcast altogether. But let's move on then. Okay, from the WWE side of things to NXT. So we talked about the releases. Samoa Joe getting released again, right? He's probably at this point like, okay, like whatever, like I'm used to it. And whatever happens to Samoa Joe, he'll do well. Like, he's obviously an asset. Bring him over to AEW, let him be an announcer. He'll be amazing. Get rid of Excalibur. Okay, they can't. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, Samoa Joe in AEW seems like a
no-brainer. It really seems like a no-brainer, yeah. So let's move on to NXT New Year's Evil then, as Foreign once again stuck staring at Mr. Young like he's in love. Yeah, bro.
I'm so done with this internet, but thanks, bro. Just keep running through it, bro.
No worries, bro. No worries. New Year's Evil. I actually enjoyed the heck out of New Year's Evil. Obviously, the whole idea of New Year's Evil is to put over once again the new talent, and you know it's a bit annoying. Like, okay, we start off with Carmelo Hayes versus Roderick Strong. It's quite obvious in that match Roderick Strong was leading the match, and like Carmelo Hayes, we've talked about lots of potential, right? Them just getting rid of the cruiserweight title, though, a bit of a shame. But let's be honest, was anybody watching 205 Live? 205 Live hadn't been about the cruiserweights for many moons already. So
they haven't even defended the cruiserweight title on 205 Live for the longest time.
Yeah, I love that title, but yeah, let's get rid of it, lah. Who are we trying to kid here? You know? Yeah. So Roderick Strong is the biggest, quote unquote. He was the loser, but in so many ways as well, because it killed the entire division. I don't know what else he can do with the Diamond Mine. He should just go to AEW.
Yeah, the problem with Diamond Mine is there's no one else compelling other than, I mean, Roderick Strong is not also compelling as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like his lackeys, the other guys, are actually even more compelling than Roderick Strong. If you talk about the Creed brothers, they are like these two, like, you know, giant horse tag team wrestlers, right? And then you have Ivy Nile, who's like this yoked up. Did she win, or she was in the Titan Games on NBC? That Rock.
She was in Titan Games. Yes.
I mean, she is an impressive specimen, right? And then you have Malcolm Bivens, the mouthpiece. So even if you lose Roderick Strong, I'd be like, okay, whatever. The funny thing is, he's supposed to be the leader, but he comes off as the most useless, most pointless member of the group. That's my point.
Oh no!
Oh, and there's
for him, man.
There's the Hachiman guy who I have still no idea what the fuck he's there for.
Yeah. I have no idea. I know he replaced another Japanese guy or something, right? Like that.
But okay, he's like the Arn Anderson. He's the the guy who plans out everything. Like, what? Is he their nutritionist? Like, I don't know what the fuck he's supposed to be there for. So yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, let's talk about the winner. Carmelo Hayes, man, I'm happy for him. Mm-hmm. Finally got to see his entrance. I never actually bothered to watch his entrance. That's how much I eyeball NXT 2.0. But yeah, it just shows that clear.
Oh dear. Well, we're not going to find out what it shows,
Carmelo
apparently.
Hayes and Bron Breakker.
No idea what you just said, bro.
Yeah.
We drop. Okay, and once again.
It's clearly the...
no idea what you said, bro.
NXT is pushing is Carmelo Hayes and Bron Breakker. Like, that seems to be the stars of the new generation.
I mean, it's quite obvious, lah. I'm not sold on Carmelo Hayes, honestly. I know you're very high on him, but right now he just comes across as another, like, not even at Street Profits level entertaining yet. You know, him and Trick Williams, they're just there. They're street vibe. I get it, but also it's like there are 1,000,001 of these tag teams, right? So
we just had Hit Row.
Yeah, we just had Hit Row, exactly, who are much more charismatic. And this match itself too, it felt a little bit like Roderick Strong was leading him through the match. So he's good. I mean, they are supposed to be green lah, so you can't fault that. But if I can see it, then okay, not yet there, but definitely the guy in the future.
My worry is if they throw away all the veterans, who's gonna be leading the green people?
Exactly. Then the green people will have green matches with each other, and then
It's the blind leading the blind.
Exactly. That's probably why they're bringing in an AJ Styles. They brought in Riddle, and I mean, I'm not saying Riddle is a veteran, but like, you know, okay, that leads into the next match, right? The 6-man tag, Riddle and MSK. So the High Boys versus Imperium.
The High Boys.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Did you enjoy this match?
I love every time Riddle and Walter interacted. Yeah, that's my favorite part of the match lah.
Yeah, but did you care about anything else?
Nope.
Yep. Look, maybe because we are not into the 420 culture, so we can't connect to Riddle and MSK. This is a different Riddle from his Riddle in Raw. You know, like this is Riddle with his 420 persona cranked all the way up.
Yeah. I like the fact that he's trying to be versatile. You know, having multiple storylines throughout different shows. Yeah. And I like that he is now technically the mentor as compared to when he's with Randy. He's the student, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is. I got really nothing much to comment.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think from a storyline perspective and a likability perspective, we can't relate. You know, I didn't like Walter losing though. Yeah, that's my take on it. Yeah, that too, right? Because he's always been portrayed as this like monster.
Yeah.
It is what it is, I suppose. Let's move on. Mandy Rose, Cora Jade, Raquel Gonzalez. The match itself, I didn't even like take anything away from, but she beat Cora Jade, and that makes sense.
I get why you like Cora Jade.
She has appeal, doesn't she?
Yeah. She's damn cute.
She has the X factor, and I think she's gonna show up at the Rumble.
She reminds me of AJ Lee. I don't know whether you watch AJ Lee.
Yeah, of course.
Period. Yeah. But she has that like tomboy vibe, and I was kind of rooting for her in spite of like not really knowing much about her in the match.
Question: why wasn't Gigi Dolan and the other girl JC Jane involved?
Oh, I have no idea, man.
Yeah.
I didn't bother to find out as well.
Of course, Mandy Rose showed up in a helicopter. Like, what are you trying to do? Charlotte Flair? Yeah.
That was a bit too much lah.
Yeah, it was like, huh? Okay.
No, sure, something New Year in style. Yeah, good for her, man.
I mean, it wasn't a horrible match, but like I said, nothing to write home about. And Mandy retaining made a lot of sense because technically Mandy is part of the new school. And there was nobody in this group that's part of the old Black and Gold. Unless you count Raquel Gonzalez. But I feel like she came in at a later time anyway.
Yeah, but technically this is Mandy's first defense, right, of the title.
Yeah. So you have to keep your heel champion stronger.
Yeah. I mean, she definitely needs longer time with the title. She still feels very fresh in this character.
Okay, let's move on to the main event then. And very surprising, but I guess, based on where the NXT is 2.0 is going, it was inevitable. I guess they decided, you know what? Let's just start the new year off completely fresh. And have Bron Breakker beat Tommaso Ciampa. Clean submission win, no less, in the camel clutch, aka the accolade, aka the, I don't know what he's going to call it, the breaker, break your back, the Bron Breakker.
Steiner recliner?
The Steiner recliner? Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah, that's what it was called. Okay, yeah, the Steiner recliner. We have a brand new champion, Bron Breakker. I mean, okay, match-wise, you got Tommaso Ciampa, who's a veteran, right? Who's been in so many of these wars. Bron Breakker, you have an athletic freak who can cover up for his greenness by just being physically gifted. You put him in there with somebody who can hold the whole match together. There you go. You have a good main event, a title match right there.
Honestly, it was a decent match. They gave them enough time to tell a story.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I have this comparison. It felt like Triple H versus Batista at the beginning.
Okay.
Like Batista was super green, but like he managed to overcome it by just being physically so imposing and so impressive, and he had the intensity, and that kind of like covered up a lot of his greenness. I mean, of course, over time he kind of polished himself up, but the initial run, WrestleMania 21. That felt like Breakker here on like a lower level.
I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, he's a star. You can't deny that. But him as a champion, that would be interesting because who does he fight after that?
Yeah, right. Who's next? Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller will be facing off against AJ. I'm sorry, I just saw your face. It froze. One eye big, one eye smart. We forgot to mention also Grayson Waller had an interaction with AJ Styles, so they'll fight next week on NXT. What do you think of Grayson Waller? Oh, okay. I think we lost him once again. There you go. Grayson Waller, are you a fan?
Please continue, Young.
All right, so let me just take it. I think moving ahead after the whole program with AJ Styles, I think that's where they're going to go. After Waller gets the rub from AJ, building the heel heat, that's when you put... Because right now, if you put Waller versus Breakker, it's like, okay, like, you know, Waller doesn't really have that. He needs a little bit more. Unfortunately, though, I feel like, you know, after what he did to Johnny Gargano, he had quite a bit of heat. And then he had nobody to, you know, work the heat with.
It's clear that the Gargano and AJ Styles just switch places lah.
Yeah.
They tag in AJ to be that veteran guy that's supposed to pay him a lesson.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So I wonder what's going to happen on NXT. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if it's actually, like I said, one of the ideas is Dexter Lumis. Another one would be, I wouldn't mind Ciampa standing up for Gargano.
Sure.
Yeah, so and then like give the seasoning to Waller while Breakker, I don't know who Breakker will face next, but they need to work around these people. That's what they have seemed to be pushing.
Yeah. What happened to Cameron Grimes and the other guy? The guy who... Oh, I forgot his name already. The poker player.
Zion Quinn?
What? No, not Zion Quinn. No.
That guy. Duke Hudson.
Duke Hudson. They gave up on him already. He shaved botak. We never got to see him like fully botak.
Yeah, I love it. I love the fact that we don't see.
Like,
I wouldn't mind seeing Pete Dunne getting more main event contention.
Well, I mean, Pete Dunne is busy feuding with the Italian guy. What's his name? Tony D'Angelo.
Tony D'Angelo.
So I believe they are fighting next week on NXT. So, I mean, okay. I mean, I see that they are building all I see that they're building all these young stars. Okay, I think we are having a massive lag issue because now we keep talking over each other, bro.
Okay, Young, go ahead, please.
Okay. So, yes, we're talking about Tony D'Angelo. We're talking about Cameron Grimes, all these up-and-comers. I think that NXT moving forward, at least from a sports entertainment point of view, right? There are a lot of compelling stories. They are moving forward, like the Zion Quinn and the Elektra Lopez, Fantasma, Legado del Fantasma stuff. There's a lot of sports entertainment to be watched lah.
Yeah.
In-ring products still a bit green. I mean, you have Boa trying to contain his spiritual mailing bullshit. Oh, by the way, Wendy Chu made her debut.
Who the fuck is Wendy Chu?
I know, right? But she just randomly showed up in a backstage segment, like hanging out and just... Was she eating? She was in her PJs or some shit? It was weird.
I don't know. She looked like someone from Crazy Rich Asians.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's a vibe. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, last thoughts on NXT. Go ahead, bro.
Actually, I enjoyed it. It was I enjoyed it more than War Games.
Okay.
Then what I call it, Halloween Havoc. Like I felt like this was actually a good representation of what NXT 2.0 could be.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Now, I will go out there and push that even further and say that I enjoyed New Year's Evil more than Wrestle Kingdom. Don't DM me, bro. I won't be able to read my DMs anyway. I'll be on a cruise. Okay, and we'll get
you
to
just
that.
throw that bomb and then you just chow.
Yeah, I threw the bomb. Sound like you all deal with it. I know the pro wrestling fans are like, what? How dare you? We'll get to that in just a bit. So that's NXT. Let's talk about AEW and its various matches and stuff like that, right? AEW. Okay, so I find myself right now at this stage where WWE, NXT, AEW, like it's all, there's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad everywhere, which makes it both very compelling and very tiring to watch. I've officially given up on watching Rampage, by the way. Rampage never has anything like substantial to me.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
And
it's
I also
very
don't know.
uneven lah. It's very uneven.
I don't know if you noticed, but the last match of Rampage is always some sort of hardcore bloodbath, anyhow chaos bullshit match. If you notice, it's happened several times already.
Yeah. It seems, you're right. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. So it's because it's later in the evening, so I guess they put the violent matches there, right? The first match is usually the more quote unquote important main event, and that's also where Hook. Maybe they are trying to make Rampage Hook show.
It's a good place to have him. I mean, if they're trying to push young talent.
Yeah, why not, right? And I think he deserves that. He's in the right spot, as in he does show up on TV, but not on Dynamite, not that often. And he's not hidden on like Elevation and Dark, which nobody watches except for the truly hardcore fans. So this slow burn is the best thing they could do with Hook. So good for him. Good on them. Now let's get to AEW Dynamite, the debut on TBS. Hangman Adam Page versus Daniel Bryan. With
Part 2.
With freaking Paul No BS White, Mark Henry, and Jerry Lynn as the judges. Okay.
Jerry who?
Hey, ECW and veteran, okay? So
Yes.
The match itself, did you enjoy it more than the first one? Or did you
I did.
Yeah, okay.
I did, because he had a decisive winner.
Well,
That's
yeah.
number one.
And it ended up being a freaking bloodbath.
Yeah, I mean the bloodbath, I didn't know whether Bryan Danielson did it properly or what.
Yeah.
He was a bit excessive for his one.
See, here's my big fucking issue with this now. I wouldn't be like, okay, another bloodbath, if the fucking Bunny and Tai Conti didn't do it just a few days ago. Like, fuck man, whoever said okay to that should be slapped. Because, like, why are you giving these, just like, let's face it, lower mid-card wrestlers on a Friday night, that same, like, you allow them to do that when just a few days later you're going to have your main event title champions do that as well. It takes away from the luster of it.
Yeah, no, you had a great point there. Clearly they were trying to pay off a 1-year bill that no one watched.
Yeah, well, and guess what? I don't see them as any higher up in the card right now. It almost feels like they Shooks and Diri go do their own thing, and then like they're in their own little pocket universe. Like, I feel they really need to understand that less is more. More is not more.
Yeah. Bryan Danielson and Hangman Page on his own was a good match,
It was a great match. I wouldn't even say it's a good match. It's a great match, yeah. And obviously...
because it was more condensed.
Sorry, go ahead. I mean, it was better. I also agree that it's better because it had a conclusive finisher, but I still am of the idea, and I don't know if we're going to get Foreign back this time. I think we might have lost him forever, thanks to the lag monster. But I do honestly believe that, going back to what I talked about last week too, I don't think he should have beat Bryan Danielson. I think that he needs to be the babyface champion crawling back. I don't see where they can go from here. Are they going to have a rematch? The third match? Oh, we can't hear you right now. We've lost audio from Foreign as well.
Sorry, bro. Yeah, can you hear me now, bro?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, sorry. I was just saying, you told us last week you didn't really enjoy Hangman Page as a champion, right?
Yeah.
But now that it seems clear that AEW is pushing him like to the moon, like getting Bryan Danielson, giving him the rub, out of the way. How can he be compelling to like a critic, like people who are still skeptical about his rate?
You need to put him in peril, and now you can't because he's already beat the biggest bad boss. So who is left for him to beat? Cody?
I mean, Cody could have been. But Cody stuck in TNT title level, right?
Well, no, because he, as we all know from Battle of the Belts, he is injured or medically not cleared. They were quite vague about that, actually.
They have actually announced the reason. Actually, Cody himself announced on social media.
What did he say? COVID?
Yeah. he and Brandy both got COVID. Yes.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, I mean, we certainly wish them a speedy recovery, right? So okay, obviously that changes the plans and everything. Whatever. Who knows? Maybe he would have dropped the belt to Sammy Guevara at Battle of the Belts.
Yeah, I mean, within 2 weeks of him winning, that would be random.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that could be a spin-off storyline where he's like, oh, I've had a taste of gold. I'm going to go back on my word. And then have him fully embrace his heel side, go towards the AEW championship and target Hangman Adam Page. That's all I can see. Because honestly, now that Hangman has defeated Bryan Danielson and in a pretty decisive fashion, right? Where do we go from here?
Well, I do know where Bryan Danielson is going to go. Seems like he might be forming his own faction.
Okay.
Which has been rumored for a while. So he's going to slide back down the card. I think it might be MJF.
Ooh.
Yeah, it might be because MJF seems to be making very, very clear that he wants to go for heavyweight title contention. Of course, CM Punk is going to try to screw him up and get him his way. But it seems like he's going to have like a one-off title match, which CM Punk will officially screw, and then that's why they fight for the title.
Yeah, so okay, hold on. So MJF has to move on from CM Punk first. They still haven't had their blow-off yet, and that probably that needs to happen at a pay-per-view, right?
Yes.
When's their next pay-per-view?
Revolution, which is in February.
Okay, so let's say that happens.
Yep.
MJF needs to win. Then.
Yeah, could be.
So,
or MJF fights for the title before that, but loses because CM Punk interferes.
Oh, but then that means
what I'm saying
MJF.
is that
That
it will be a
means
short feud lah. It will be a one-off thing lah.
yeah, but then what would be the one-off thing? MJF and Hangman.
MJF and Hangman lah. Yeah.
So, but then that is an issue in itself. So Hangman becomes this Big E type champion where he's the champion. Yeah, we root for him because he deserves it, but he has nobody to defend it against. He's never in peril.
Don't you think that he needs a couple of challenges to like get through to like kind of build his reign as well?
That's why my suggestion of him losing the title to Bryan Danielson, have Bryan Danielson lord over the heavyweight division for a while Hangman Page builds up his confidence again, beating other veterans along the way, beating your Miros, beating fucking who else is there? I don't know.
Bro, you brought a good point. Miro would have been a great title contender right now.
Yeah, so I feel like they're just doing this because they want to be like, we are going to have him, win because we are going to stick to our guns. And Bryan Danielson is the sort of guy who will say yes to it because he wants to put him over as well. I respect that. But I think this is a very one-off sort of a instant gratification thing. I think the bigger payoff would have had been dragging this feud out even longer to Revolution, to maybe the pay-per-view, even after that, where Hangman Page finally redeems himself.
Could be. Like, that's the problem. I think the only issue with AEW is that there's too much time between pay-per-views. Like by the time the next pay-per-view comes around, they probably have like fought 2 or 3 other opponents or have like a mini feud here and there. It's gonna be hard to clearly Bryan Danielson might have a round 3. Could be. But by that point in time, even if he wins that last match, it doesn't mean much in this context because they already beaten him twice.
So at this point, I'm like, okay, so you put over your Hangman Page. Yeah, he's the champion. We'll see what they do from here. I'm just worried that he really has nobody else to play with in terms of terms of someone who will start a compelling feud with, because everyone else there is still quite green. Other than CM Punk, but CM Punk is busy with MJF, right? And B, the other thing is like, really, who's going to come in and like, we know Omega is going to be away for a while, and let's face it, like Omega, I mean, looking back, I don't think he had a very good championship run either. Like Omega and the Young Bucks not being on TV for a while has actually made the product so much better. I know a lot of, I'm sorry to say this, but it has. It's brought legitimacy to the company because, like I've always said, Young Bucks and Omega have been the kings of their little tiny world. Big fish, small pond. Now you have the big fish in the big pond coming in telling you, okay, let's do it this way. Let's elevate the game. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whose title reign you actually enjoyed the most out of all the AEW champions so far?
Enjoy the most. Oh, that's a tough one, yeah.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I feel like their heavyweight title has like Jericho, I guess.
Jericho, the first one.
The first one, yeah. Well, let's be honest here. Moxley was nonsense.
I mean, Moxley had it going against him with the pandemic. Number one.
Yeah, true. And who was after that?
That was Omega already.
Yeah, Omega already. So looking at all those title reigns, I would say Chris Jericho.
I enjoyed Chris Jericho as well. Kenny, I enjoyed right after he won, when he was like opening the forbidden door.
Yeah.
There was the whole like intrigue with him linking up with Dan Callis like at the beginning.
Yeah, but okay, let's be honest. Let's be real honest, right? That is the sort of thing that tickles the hardcore wrestlers' balls. Everyone else there, mainstream people, could give two fucks.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is it's a Shok Sindiri. I am catering to my own friends and fans, sort of like, let's pop the internet wrestling community. The mass media didn't give two fucks about that.
I love it when you speak Malay, bro. it tinkles my fancy.
you need to teach me more phrases, bro. You teach me more phrases, okay?
Okay. You say last warning. Last warning.
Last warning.
Last
warning is not a Malay phrase. What are you talking about?
I know, but the way if you say in the Malay slang, right, it really sounds like it's like a slang. It's like last warning.
Last warning. Okay.
Okay.
That being said, I mean, come on. It's Daniel Bryan. He is doing the best work of his career right now.
Yep. Where should Bryan Danielson go then if he's not contending for the title anymore?
Fuck, I don't want him to go anywhere. Like, he needs to contend for the title. See, that's my big issue too. Like, what the fuck is he gonna go down and feud with Orange Cassidy? Like,
I mean, you know what? If it's Danielson and Page round 3, Danielson wins the third one.
Okay, but then that takes away from the last. I don't know. Like, maybe it could work. Like, you know, they had it perfectly set up for Page to make that heroic climb, and they are like, nope, we want to have him hang on to the title. So okay, cool. And is he going to come on every week and have amazing promos? Like, his promos are a bit hit and miss. He had 1 or 2 great promos, but the rest have been okay only. And okay, I think the biggest plus side to have Page and Danielson continue their working relationship, is that Hangman Page will learn so much. Let's not forget, he's still quite young and green. And Danielson is already at, like, you know, fucking veteran status, legend status, right? So an extended feud means he gets to sit under the learning tree even longer and pick up more. Whereas last few years, he's been sitting under the Dark Order tree, Kenny Omega tree. That's why he's not been compelling.
Then don't you think that his future challenges should be mainly established guys?
Yeah.
Shouldn't he run through the likes of you know, CM Punk after he finishes with MJF? Shouldn't he technically go run around back with John Moxley, maybe?
Yeah. Once John Moxley comes back.
Yeah, I wouldn't even mind seeing him fight against Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, Eddie Kingston would be sort of a in-between feud lah. Let's be honest. Yeah.
In-between feud. But when I'm thinking of like you know, compelling like veterans that he can like learn from, like each rival can teach him something new, and I think I don't mind that.
Yeah. We'll just have to wait and see lah. But I feel like it's still a missed opportunity. Okay, let's move on then. TBS title finale: Ruby Riott versus Jade Cargill. Remember, I said I think they were going to put the title on Jade Cargill because she needs it. But watching the match, I was like, wow, fuck, this is a green ass shit match.
Do you see the finisher, bro?
Yeah. It was like, okay, 1, 2, 3, jump. Like, oh my god. I was like,
it was bad.
It was so okay. So I honestly hope that this title is only defended on Rampage. Wait, cannot, because it's Rampage is on TNT, right? Oh, that sucks.
Yes.
I don't know. This is like, this title does not need to exist. I'm sorry. The women's championship main event title is Britt versus Riho, for fuck's sakes. You already don't have challenges there. What for you want to make one TBS title? This makes no sense. It's bullshit.
When I saw her like AEW like showing footage of the daughter, was it the daughter? at the ringside, I was thinking like, okay, this confirm already.
Yeah,
confirm she's
confirm.
gonna win.
But okay, here's the thing also. Like, I get it, but also at the same time, she's a heel. Why are you making her sympathetic?
Yeah.
I realize that AEW likes to be, I guess, maybe woke, or we are above, heels and faces. We want to portray our wrestlers as full characters, which is admirable, but also at the same time, we are supposed to dislike Jade Cargill. Now you're going to show her daughter someone to look up to, but she's a heel. So now you're going to make her like relatable? What?
They booked her into a corner. It's the same situation with Lacey Evans, bro. They made Lacey Evans a heel, but then she has this like very inspiring military story.
Correct.
So like they're a bit stuck lah. But you know what? I can look past that because I still think that it's like a touching moment, especially if this is like the first episode on this new network. They need something that memorable, right? I just feel that when after the match, when I think Ruby Soho was confronted backstage by Britt Baker, saying that, you lost the title against me, now you can't lose the title against Jade Cargill. You're just a nearly woman. Like, you never even win the big one anywhere.
Yeah.
And I felt that, bro. I felt that for her.
Well, I mean, they like to, play with the reality of the situation, stuff like that, right? So, yeah, I guess, Ruby Soho is moving on to feud with Britt in the future.
Yeah. I only want one person to win the title who deserves to win the title. Thunder Rosa, bro. Thunder Rosa needs to get that run because I think out of all the baby faces that they have, she's actually the one that is legitimate.
Yeah. Thunder Rosa versus Jade Cargill then. That's the next thing you would book for the TBS Women's Championship.
Could be. Because seems like you said, Ruby seems to be like pivoting to Britt.
Yeah.
Even Jamie Hayter, like in Battle of the Belts, I was watching the match with her against Riho, right? They seem to be really hinting at Jamie Hayter having dissension there. So I like Jamie Hayter actually. Yeah.
There is potential here, but the problem here is you have literally the same storyline going on with MJF and Wardlow. Like, they couldn't have booked this more like poorly in terms of the same storyline in the same show. You know what I mean? And the thing is, do you notice what they're doing with Wardlow and MJF? Like they get together for backstage interviews and stuff like that, like segments. But most of the time, Wardlow is coming out doing his Powerbomb Symphony, which is how he should be portrayed. But the one, instead of the MJF role, it's now this Sean Spears with his chair and trying to steal his limelight. I'm like, I see where they're going because MJF needs to be focused on CM Punk, but at the same time, it's not the same, right?
Yeah. But like they've already said that next week is going to be Wardlow versus CM Punk. So now all three are in the same situation together.
Sure.
What's your odds of Wardlow like saying like, fuck it, he loses the match, right? Then he's like, he just walks away from MJF. Seems like the best time to do it, right?
But then, see, it's a weird situation because now nobody is at the right position or they are not at the right time to have these turn feuds, as it were. So ideally, MJF should be at the peak when Wardlow turns.
Yeah.
Then you build Wardlow with MJF's heat, right?
I understood.
MJF hasn't completed his program with CM Punk yet. So it's like if Wardlow turns now, it nullifies Wardlow's turn because the CM Punk MJF thing is more compelling. And if Wardlow turns but on Sean Spears, nobody gives a fuck about Sean Spears anyway. Then you have like this like 6:30 turn that nobody gives two fucks about.
Yeah. So essentially you're saying that the timing is not there yet. They need to be moved in the right chess pieces need to be in the right places.
The problem is this Wardlow turn has been like hinted at for how many months already? So I'm like, this is a weird timing issue right now.
Is it a year? At least I don't know, man. It feels so long.
Yeah, right? So like I also don't know when they should turn. If they turn him now, it's too soon. If they turn him against Sean Spears, you're wasting the turn.
Yeah.
You know?
But okay, like there is gonna be some movement. Like Wardlow versus CM Punk, I think there will be some development. Whether it's the MJF and CM Punk side or the Wardlow and MJF side.
Okay, what I can see is Wardlow loses to CM Punk. Maybe MJF tries to help or Sean Spears tries to help and they fuck it up, and then Wardlow loses and he's like angry, but he like lan just go okay, I'll be quiet, whatever. And then MJF continues to berate him, and then maybe they drag it a little bit longer.
Yeah. Can. The thing is, I want to see MJF and CM Punk end up at Revolution, but it's like, again, the issue is it's like 6 weeks away.
Yeah. So I don't know lah. Hey, we're just speculating on what we can see. It's not like we're in there booking the thing.
Yeah, you're right lah. Like in AEW, there's things that you enjoy. There's things that it's a bit hard to watch. Like when I was watching Battle of the Belts right this morning. It's weird. Like so they made it an interim championship, TNT championship between Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes. So now, Sammy Guevara won that match. So they're gonna circle back to Cody, right? But then suddenly, out of the blue, Daniel Garcia came in and interfered.
Oh, so yeah, Daniel Garcia, I feel like it's just going to be a one-off thing.
Yeah. So now they actually presented Sammy Guevara with a TNT championship, but it's called interim. So he said it's a title.
So okay, what?
So now they're defending. Yeah.
Sorry, there was a bit of a lag there. It looks like what they've done with the UFC title for a long time. So in case you don't know, right? So you have your UFC whatever middleweight, heavyweight championship, and if the champion is injured, then they will have a interim title. So this interim title basically is the title that is defended by all circumstances. That title is like now the correct title, like the champion, until the previous champion who didn't lose his title, until they are healed, then the two will face off for the actual title.
So to unify the title.
Yeah, so you never have a situation where there's no middleweight champion. There will be an interim champion. So, and then you can always spin that off. The old champion who didn't lose the belt can always be like, oh, that's not real, mine's real. Oh, but I was here defending, you are out, nursing your hangnail, whatever the fuck. And then that's how you get stories out of that as well. But you always have a champion.
Has that been done in WWE? I feel like very rare.
No, never. They never use that sort of mechanic. So that's what UFC did when their champions would get injured. They would have interim champions. So at least that championship or that weight division is not completely like held up until the champion is ready.
It kind of makes me feel like it's a bit like no point making Cody the champion. Just kept Sammy there.
No, I like this decision. Because Cody, he couldn't vacate. He didn't want to vacate for storyline purposes, I'm thinking. But also you can't have the TNT title just not being defended for a while. So okay just give the interim title to Sammy Guevara. So now you have that, built-in match that has to happen for the real TNT champion.
Yeah, so Danny Garcia and Sammy Guevara will be contesting for the interim title again. Yeah, this coming Dynamite.
That's right.
Yeah, it's okay. It's interesting. Like it keeps the story going while having Cody still recover.
Yeah. So it keeps things moving, as it were. Anything else from AEW you want to talk about that really jumped out? Chris Jericho and 2.0.
No, don't even want to talk about it.
Okay. Oh, we have to talk about that horrendous arm dislocation.
Oh, yes. We completely forgot about Jungle Boy and Jurassic Express winning the tag team titles.
Yeah, because nobody cares. Look, they want to talk about they have a great tag team division. They do, but good lord, like Jurassic Express and Christian Cage could not be more non-compelling right now.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't translate to Asian fans. I don't know. The fans in the arena seems to really like them
because of
they had that sing-along component to their presentation.
Luchasaurus is still green. I'm not talking about his outfit or his mask. I feel like he shouldn't try to do high-flying like fancy bullshit. He really should.
It was his choke slam that kind of injured Rey Fenix. Right?
No, that one. Okay, no. The choke slam was. I think that one was an accident. He just landed really awkwardly on his arm and it dislocated it at the elbow, right? So thankfully it's not a break, it's a dislocation. But still, I mean, we certainly wish, Rey Fenix all the best and speedy recovery and all that. But no, like you look, I'm talking about in terms of just general ring work. He's still so green.
Not a fan of Luchasaurus because we thought he was Kane. We thought he could be like the second coming of Kane.
But Kane is not doing like, freaking spins and flips and shit. He was playing a horse. So he didn't have to worry about making things look hokey because his moves are all power moves and not like flippy shit moves.
Yeah, they want to keep him playing to his strengths lah. Maybe because it's AEW, they want to show off that, even the heavyweights can fly, blah blah blah. But you're right. At the end of the whole match, I was more interested to see the competitors lining up on stage. When the camera shot to Malachi Black, that was interesting.
Yeah, well, apparently Malachi Black is going to get a tag team partner because, they already have no idea what to do with him.
Yeah. Aren't you a bit annoyed if he's booking?
Oh my God. Look, man. See, sometimes I wonder, like, remember when Dean Ambrose left WWE? It's like, he was booked so poorly. Once he go AEW, he'll have his freedom and he'll do very well. And then I really I don't want to think that way about Malachi Black because I genuinely love Alistair Malachi Black, right? Like, I genuinely think he's talented, but maybe he comes across as, I don't know, like, maybe people just don't get his ideas and it just doesn't translate because...
I don't think it's that, because I think whatever he's done on AEW seems to be a victim of like other more like biggest names coming at the same time.
Cody.
Yeah. I mean, not just Cody. When he came with Cody, it was interesting, but like soon after he debuted, CM Punk came back. So like, for example, if CM Punk never appeared or Bryan Danielson never come, Adam Cole never come, right? Malachi Black and Andrade confirm already championship contention.
No, but okay, that's all fine. But then they can go and build a strong mid-card feud. What are Andrade and Malachi doing? Like, what's going on? Why are they not being highlighted in the mid-card? So my question is, we know that they are very talented, right? They've shown what they can do on NXT. But somehow when they get to the main rosters of, you talk about WWE, you talk about AEW, they fizzle out. So my question is, are they not pushing themselves in backstage? They are not pushing their storylines. They just listen to whoever is writing and they go, okay, I'll do that. So there's that question that needs to be asked. Like, what is going on?
It's tough lah, because you are a Malachi Black fan, me too. And I do want to see him succeed, but it seems like he's gonna take this like detour in the tag team division, which is to me ill-advised.
Yeah. Okay. Look. I think the question here for me anyway is, having worked in big corporations and being part of a management level decision-making situation as well, there are some people that come in and they push for what they want. And then there are some people who are just very happy to be there. They are hard workers. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they're lazy or bad at what they do. They're hard workers. They're good at what they do, but they're very content with saying, okay, yeah, I like this. So they are like workhorses, as it were. Yeah. And I feel like maybe Andrade, maybe Alistair, maybe people like that fall in that category. And because we are such fans, like personally such fans of them, that we wish there was more and we get upset that there isn't more. And we think, conspiracy. But actually, maybe they're very happy.
It could be a Dolph Ziggler situation, bro.
Yeah, exactly. He's very happy, jobbing every week.
Getting the paycheck, no matter what.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, we talked about this. He came in with such hoo-ha. He killed Cody Rhodes. And then Cody Rhodes stole the thunder by pretending to want to retire. Look, I mean, I'm sorry for going back to that.
Oh, yeah. Or that part.
I'm sorry to go, but I think that killed. So I think he talks about like golden shovel, right? I think Cody also a big golden shovel, like he literally stole Malachi Black's moment. If you think about it, with his fucking like, I'm going to retire now. Like, huh? Wait, why are you making this about you? No, fucking lie down and die, and put Malachi Black over, right?
It's like the Anthony Agogo situation. He thought that it was gonna work, but it just failed.
Yeah, and he made it about him. See, that's, oh my God. Okay, no. We are not going to start on a Cody rant. We will go on for 5 hours. So anyway, this entire week of wrestling has been a mixed bag.
It has been a lot.
Yeah.
But like there wasn't one top to bottom like that was like, oh yes, love every single thing there.
Yeah. Which is like, I wish there was a way to be like, okay, let me only watch the good stuff because there's so much of it. Let me just watch the good stuff and fuck the rest of the stuff.
Like put all the good stuff in just one card.
Yeah.
And let's just enjoy that show.
Yeah.
You know what that was, bro?
What?
That was an NXT takeover card back in the day.
Yes, back in the day, right? 100%. Okay, let's move on then. AEW, we're done with that. Yeah, we're done with NXT.
Yeah, let's talk about the last thing.
Woo,
let's talk about the last thing, man.
Wrestle Kingdom 16 live from the Tokyo Dome, where if you wrestle in the Tokyo Dome, your star value for every match goes up by at least 3.
Yeah, but it's like Pokemon Go, bro. You can find stars all over the place.
Oh God. Okay, so big caveat here, right? I haven't watched New Japan since last year's Wrestle Kingdom, so I have no idea. I was like, let's just watch it for the spectacle of it. You know, it's something that we do every year, right?
Wait, is the question? Did you re-sign back to your New Japan World?
I bought it as a one-off on Fight TV, so I spent like 40 something bucks on both nights. Okay, the third night I didn't watch.
God. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the third night. Yeah, don't get me started on how I don't think that was worth it. The third night I think it's going on right now as we record this, or it's maybe happening tonight, but it's only on pay-per-view in Japan and won't be on New Japan like their service until like 1 week later. And let's face it, like I don't know anything about Noah, so don't bother lah. For us, for our purposes, let's just talk about New Japan's New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 16. Night 1, and okay, we have to put this out there too. A lot of it has to do with the fact that there's a pandemic going on, so a lot of the gaijin wrestlers can't come in. So it really feels like a depleted card because you had wrestlers on night 1. On night 2, like, can you imagine fucking Brock Lesnar wrestling in a tag team match on night 1 and then wrestling for the championship in night 2? You know, like it gave me that vibe.
When I saw the cards, I was like, nothing appealed to me. The single matches appealed to me, but the tag teams were like, I can miss it. Doesn't really matter.
You know why? Because a lot of the tag team matches were essentially, this is a preview for tomorrow night. You know?
Yeah, but that's a wrong way to sell it, you know?
Yeah, well, the reason is because your roster is depleted. Right? Because of the pandemic. And then here's another thing. Because of the pandemic, Kevin Kelly is not there live. I was going to say Kelly. I'm like, wait a minute. No, the commentator, right? Yeah. So the two commentators were doing their thing via Zoom or something like that, much like what we are doing while watching. So I felt like most of the calls were like half a second late. And while that's not a big deal, I don't know why I found it very noticeable.
Man, like how was the first night? Because I didn't watch it at all. I only look at the results and like just clips only. I was there only for night 2.
See, here's the thing with Wrestle Kingdom for me, and watching a lot of AEW now, like the AEW style, you know, a lot of those wrestlers come from the New Japan style, right? So now, remember when for me anyway, my first exposure to New Japan was because of Chris Jericho, right? And his whole Kenny Omega and stuff like that. That's when I first watched it. And a lot of New Japan then was new to me because that wrestling style I was not exposed to. Stuff I liked, stuff I didn't like. Now, because I watch AEW on a weekly basis, all of this is actually like, like that, flippity-floppity shit, I see that on AEW already. So it's no longer fresh. Zack Sabre Jr. is no longer fresh to me on New Japan. So it actually hurt it greatly. A, you have pandemic issues, so you're seeing same wrestlers on 2 nights. B, the crowds. So, in Japan, right, they can have crowds, but they're not allowed to cheer. So, and you know, Japanese are very respectful as well. So, literally, the whole thing is, and they say it on commentary, they'll clap if they like something. If they don't like something, they'll be quiet. There was a lot of quiet. And it reminded me of the Performance Center during the height of the pandemic when, you know, they had some crowd, but no crowd. So, there was a bit of...
It felt like watching a theater play lah.
Yeah, it killed the mood so bad. I was like, this big spectacle, huge LED boards, and it almost felt like people weren't responding.
Yeah. Oh man, okay. Like I didn't get to watch like the first night matches, but was there any really like compelling ones that actually kind of had a good match.
I mean, your singles matches, because like you said, a lot of the 6-man tag team matches were all big, massive clusterfucks, right?
I finally found out what's a KOPW trophy, bro.
Okay, what is it?
Okay, so it's the stupidest. It's so overbooked.
Convoluted,
like the entire concept was so overbooked. It's essentially, this past year, Okada said that he wanted to create like a trophy, like something like a King of the Ring.
Yeah.
So there's four people in like different matches. Then the winners of each of these matches are the Fatal 4-Way, right?
Yeah.
And then the winner of the Fatal 4-Way will hold this title, but they are only an interim champion. And so if they still hold the title at the end of the year, at December 31st, then they are considered the champion of that year. But there's no title, there's no trophy. It's just an acknowledgement.
I'm gonna stop you right there, because if it takes that long to explain anything, it's fucking bullshit. Nobody's gonna care.
So that's the thing.
Don't waste time with that.
When I was reading all that, I was thinking to myself, like, who the fuck is gonna have enough patience to like look through this whole situation?
Okay, why is it New Japan? They are very. I feel like they only cater to their fans.
That's the point. I think they really just want to assume everyone is like this super analytical, like fan, crazy ass fan.
It's like, no, I don't have time for that shit. I got work to do. I got other wrestling to watch. I guess it's different. Like, I know a lot of you who listen to the podcast are huge New Japan fans and can teach us so much about it, right? Which, it's awesome. Like during our, when I was watching it and I was on Discord as well, like, you guys were on the chat saying, oh, this, that. And I'm asking questions about this and everything. That's great. And it's cool that you guys are super into it. But at the same time also, it's like, wow, with all the other stuff we have to watch, there's no way I'm going to really, really get into this. Yeah. I can't. It's so hard to get into New Japan.
Can you imagine trying to explain to someone a year-long championship scramble essentially?
Yeah, exactly right. It's like, I don't know if somebody in the organization thought, hey, maybe this is a way to get them to continually watch and be invested throughout the whole year. I'm like, no, man. The barrier to entry is so damn high already.
Yeah, bro. Shingo Takagi, bro. How was he as a champion? As a match against Okada?
Shingo Takagi. You know what? The main event, right?
Yeah, the main event.
I enjoyed the main event. I mean, here's the thing. And here's the other thing about New Japan, watching the wrestling, right? It's like, I don't understand. Like this, it's a lot like AEW. They are the really good workers, and then there's a whole bunch of bullshit in between. A lot of floppy, flippy shit, and I will bring this up till the day I die, but the trading of the forearm spot is the dumbest fucking spot in all of pro wrestling. Why does this exist? Like somebody said on Discord, that's because they don't allow closed fists. Okay lah, then open fist punch lah. Like fucking Bret Hart did it for how many years? Shawn Michaels, Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle, all the greats did it. Like they could punch. None of these new guys can punch.
Even when they punch with closed fists, it looked believable though.
No, open fist.
No, as in like back in the day, some people do like closed fists, like Undertaker.
But no, closed fists are supposed to be illegal. That's why their fists are always open.
In wrestling?
Yes. You're not supposed to throw that. But see, the explanation of why do they throw these forearms is you can't use closed fists. So, okay. But it still looks fake as fuck.
Yeah.
And then, but once in a while, you have like the strong style guys who just fucking lay it in, and then it looks good. But the idea that they're standing there and trading is dumb. It's just fucking dumb.
Yeah, like if you take one straight like forearm to the chest, wouldn't you just walk away?
Yeah. No, but why would you let the other guy hit you? And I'm sorry, I know I've said this before, but we are in a world where MMA exists and is a popular thing. Right? A lot of people have done Muay Thai. Even if you don't train it every day, you've taken one class. Right? Yeah. Nobody fucking hits anybody with a forearm. It's the dumbest thing ever. People understand punch because boxing. I punch and it's very instinctual, right?
Yeah.
Right? So like Muay Thai, you elbow somebody in the face. Like, but these forearms are...
I mean, even if they say that, oh, this is to protect the wrestlers, it doesn't really protect the wrestlers. I think it's painful for the wrestlers to go through it.
Learn to punch.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but they've done it for how many years in the past? Why is it all of a sudden like not a thing anymore?
You know, is this a Japan thing? Like throughout their whole history, they just do forearm punches or what?
I don't fucking know. I see someone needs to explain this to us.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough to watch that because like, yeah, they want to say fighting spirit lah or whatever it is, but I just wait for it to end, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah, it felt like that. And okay, here's the thing about fighting spirit. At the end of the day, it's just storytelling, right?
Yeah.
It's like you can take power bombs, you can do dives and shit like that. Also can show fighting spirit, right? It doesn't have to be I trade, you trade, I punch, you punch. It makes no sense to me. Anyway, maybe it's just a cultural thing.
So back to my question about Takagi, like what was his story going into the match? Like how did he perform against Okada?
Honestly, I don't remember. To me, it was like I'm trying to remember, but I, for the life of me, could. And I think my biggest takeaway from watching New Japan is that it was so hard to understand like a lot of the storylines that at the end of the day, it's just a bunch of matches. And yes, some of them were well wrestled, some of them were interesting, some were downright, brutal. But at the end of the day, it's like if you don't follow this product, it's hard to get into. It's so hard.
I only watched like 2 matches in its entirety, to be honest. Both was on night 2.
Oh dear.
Kenta versus Tanahashi.
Okay, hold on. We have a bit of a lag issue right now.
And the last one, which is
there you go. Okay, so
sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, the United Empire versus the Los Ingobernables storyline with Will Ospreay basically not wanting to tag into the match or do very little. That makes sense, right? Because he had to be in the main event of night 2.
Yeah.
So,
like I said, like I didn't care because I think like every single match was leading up to night 2. So like the night 2 matches felt like it mattered more.
Yeah. Sima showed up. That was a big deal.
Yes, I saw that, which is interesting because you forgot about him in AEW.
Yeah.
He was there at the beginning. We know him from SPW. But yeah, like even watching a match like Kenta versus Tanahashi, I thought that was interesting. Do you watch the Shibata match?
Yes, so Shibata versus Narita, right?
Yes.
And
tell me about that.
Here's the thing. So it was supposed to be a catch wrestling only match because the story. Okay, who was the one who got injured? Shibata. Okay, so he's the legend. He got the veteran rather. He got injured, and then so they're easing him back. But then right at the start, he's like, "No, I want a regular match." And even the commentators were like, "Is he going into business for himself?" So I don't know if because like when I watched, I had to rewatch this, by the way, because I was busy. I think I was on stream. I was streaming. I was playing games on my Twitch channel, right? So I had it in the background. So I was like, why the fuck are they striking each other? Isn't this a catch wrestling match only? So I rewatched it, and they actually announced at the start, Shibata's like, I want a regular match. And then the commentators were speculating, is he going into business for himself? Because, he was injured for so long. He wants to show that he can do it. So he can go and wrestle regular matches. So that was interesting. The match itself, the match itself were good. The problem is they both look the fucking same. They both look dressed the same. I was like, I don't know who is who. I'm sorry, but like
they were just wearing tiny whiny like small tights and like
small black tights. They have the same sort of like like a mid-length hair. So like 2 Japanese guys going at it. I'm like, I can't tell these two apart. I have no idea who they are. So after a while, I lost interest.
Yeah. I know the whole story about Shibata. Apparently that Red Narita guy is his like top student or something like that. So like he trusted him to be the one that like kind of guided him through this match back.
Yeah.
If you knew about his injury, right, it's actually it's like Stone Cold level of like neck break, So like for him to do all that things that you say, like going to business for himself, like I found that interesting. Maybe he did. That's unsure, right?
I don't know. But I mean, that would be like Stone Cold coming in, and like changing stipulations on the fly. Can man?
Yeah.
So I don't know lah. But watching Wrestle Kingdom really drove home the fact that they have no room for like, oh, you don't watch us on a regular basis, okay lah. We're not going to hold your hand. Whereas WWE is the complete opposite. They'll guide you through every fucking thing.
Yeah, they were overly, like I said, they will just try to get as many casual fans as possible.
Yeah.
And also, like you said, about not just Gaijin, they were having a lot of injury issues. So I only just realized that Ibushi was having a major injury. So he missed the entire Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
Naito, like he didn't really have a long match because he also was working through an injury. So they had to keep, like you said, they had to keep relying on their regulars and keep going back to Okada all the time.
Yeah, I mean, and you talk about like freaking they push John Cena too much. I'm like, I look at the card, I'm like, these all seem to be the same people from 3 years ago.
Bro, Okada's matches have been main eventing since like 2016.
I don't know. I think, okay, so like there were a few names that stood out to me, like Great-O-Khan. First time I was seeing him, it's like, okay, he has a unique look, but still green as fuck.
So is he a what is he? Is he a Japanese guy?
Mongolian, I think. His gimmick that he's some Mongolian guy. So, like,
interesting.
He was like, he stood out because of his character, not because of his in-ring work, right? So he had a match with Sanada, which was quite interesting.
United Empire guy, right?
Who?
As in, Great-O-Khan is part of United Empire.
Yes. Which was like, Mongolia is part of the
Commonwealth lah. I don't know.
Whatever lah. Naito, Jeff Cobb. I thought that was going to be a really, really good match, but now that you said that Naito was injured, I'm like, oh, okay, no wonder it was kind of meh. You know. Tanahashi Kenta.
Never seen
match.
a hardcore match at that level in Japan.
Kenta got like injured, right? So he can't perform at the Wrestle Kingdom, New Japan versus Noah thing.
Yeah. Do you watch like what happened in the match that caused the injury?
No, not specifically. It's probably an accumulation of all that shit.
Yeah. When I was watching that match, I kind of like tuned in and out because it was so quiet, so I just didn't feel comfortable watching it.
There were moments though when you could hear the crowd like they were like they wanted, but then they hold back. So I'm like, at least like there was some feels there, but really, you know, this quiet arena thing killed the match. Like
I hope we never go back to that. I hope we never go back to the height of the pandemic to that level.
Okay. So I want to bring something else. So there was a Stardom match.
Yes, the one that you see, you didn't know all the names.
I didn't know anybody. Of course, I didn't know. I don't watch Stardom, right? Neither do you. None of us watch Stardom. In my head, I was like, I hope Kairi Sane shows up, but no, she did not. Right? Wow, it's really like, it's really a different style. Like, Kenny Omega obviously loves that style. That's why he tried to bring in Riho. And as a person who watches North American wrestling, watching this was like, what the fuck is this?
How would you describe that style then?
It's very anime, lor. Like, I'm not a fan of anime. I'm not a weeb. Like,
anime like how? They fight like overly...
There's a lot of like...
top?
A lot of like overreactions and
like
and then there are a lot of screaming and they like it got very irritating to me. Like I made a comment like one of them, their tail dropped halfway. That was the most interesting thing. Because one of them had like one of those, like their costume had a tail on the back.
Were they technically proficient?
They were proficient enough. I think obviously to be on Wrestle Kingdom, they had to be like the best of the best, right? They wouldn't like showcase, you know, poor talent. They were good. You know, I wouldn't say they were not good. It's just that this is really like not for me.
Yeah. Not your style.
I've tried to watch Stardom before. I know a lot of the folk who listen to the podcast are huge Stardom fans as well, because you know they simp for the girls, I'm sure. Look, but it's a market. It's a market, right? It's like we drooling for Tori Wilson and the Divas back in the day.
Still the best, bro.
So you can't fault that. But as a wrestling product, especially when you try to have them go up against like a Britt Baker, like a Nyla Rose, I'm talking about Riho, yes, it makes no sense already.
Yeah. I mean, okay lah. At least you told me the honest truth about that Stardom match. I was actually quite curious to see like a marquee female match there.
I think the crowd was into it as well. I think they were very supportive. You know, there's definitely a case to be made where aren't they owned by the same company? Apparently, somebody mentioned.
Yeah, they're all part of Bushi Road. So like only recently Stardom is like sister companies to New Japan.
So then I think it behooves New Japan to throw a little diversity in there. And if anything, to make the product like, you know, a little bit more variety lah, because like after like 4-5 matches of the same shit over and over again, it gets very boring, especially to people who are not used to it, who don't know the differences between all the things. And there are too many fucking titles. That's why I've never been a fan of a three-way tag team. No, what's it? Trios title. There are too many titles already. You have random people holding titles. I'm like, who the fuck? Like, at some point, the titles mean nothing.
They got what never open weight all.
Yeah, and then trios title and this title, that title. I'm like, oh god. This was a far cry from when Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, you know, faced off at Wrestle Kingdom. Because
Kenny Omega, for all his critics, right, he still wrestle a style that even casuals and like Western fans can like appreciate, because he was like a bridge between pure Japanese style and still a bit of like, you know, his Canadian technical style. So it wasn't too much of an extreme on either end, even though it was kind of extreme. For me, like the only match I really wanted to talk about from Wrestle Kingdom was, you know, Okada versus Ospreay, right? Will Ospreay is an interesting cat because he has really evolved, bro. Like, remember when he first came out, he was like with Ricochet, just flippy shit like nobody's business. And he was a junior heavyweight guy, so he was like a cruiserweight. So you can see, bro, in the last at least 2 years, he really bulked up. Now he looks like a heavyweight. But it feels like even though he's a heavyweight and he looks menacing, he still wrestles like a Japanese guy. Even though he like Mat Saleh, even though he's like a kaijin.
Right.
He wrestles like a Japanese guy. So it's such a weird dichotomy. He's even more Japanese than Kenny Omega.
Because he doesn't like. Does he even wrestle in North America at all?
He used to do ROH, maybe a bit of more to British wrestling lah. Yeah. What was your thoughts on that main event?
I thought it was a good match. You know, there was interesting spots, but. Like, I mean, storyline wise, I think, what was the story really? Like, he had a title and he was saying that Okada's title, or rather his title, was the legit one. How come he has a title also?
Okay, so the story was, remember I told you Will Ospreay was like the second ever world heavyweight champion?
Yeah.
Like when they unified the title, it was Ibushi first. Ibushi lost the title to Will Ospreay, right? Because Ibushi got injured. Remember I told you that the title was cursed? Because at the first defense of Ospreay's title, he also got injured.
Okay.
Like he had like a career-threatening neck injury as well. So he had to drop the title, and that's why I think Takagi won it, or is it Evil? I can't remember. But essentially, he never lost the title. He had to vacate the title because of injury. Right. So when he came back, he still carried the original. I mean the heavyweight title that he never lost lah. So he just kept claiming that I'm still a champion. You have to beat me. But clearly the company moved on, and then like, you know, everyone else won the title after that, right?
With the Cody Rhodes neck tattoo title belt.
Yes, that belt. so essentially it's the booking that I was telling you about WrestleMania. Like night one was Okada, who won G1 Climax, fighting against Takagi, the reigning champion. The winner of that match fight Ospreay, who is so-called who claims to still be the rightful champion. So they kind of like is the undisputed champion right now. And that's the storyline.
Was there ever any doubt that Okada would win?
No, that was so interesting though, because like I put up a poll, and everyone was like overwhelmingly it's Okada's time. But then I didn't understand why, because it seems like Ospreay was really presented very well. But then I did a bit of research, not really research, I just listened to the commentary lah. Do you know, bro, that this year is actually their 50th anniversary?
That's right.
And it makes so much sense.
Yeah, because like, in a traditional sense, like, oh, the company's 50th, it's a very Asian thing, isn't it? Right? Like if you think about promotions, New Japan would be way more beholden to traditions than WWE or AEW would ever be.
Of course.
Yeah. Like Okada winning, I was like, okay, like that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, of course they want to have like their standard bearer, their title holder be like the Japanese face of their promotion, right?
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. So I don't know, like top to bottom, there was, just like the rest of this week, there was good, there was bad, but the problem is because I had very little backstory to everybody, and the crowd was not allowed to make noise, it felt like a chore to watch. I'm sorry to say this. If you want to call me a mainstream fan, then sure. I'm not a hardcore wrestling fan, but I couldn't get into it lah.
When I tried to watch this, and I consider myself like even not an educated New Japan fan, I'm more like you, like in the sense I'm more of Western fan. The first thought to my mind is like it would be so hard for me to introduce this wrestling to other people.
Yeah, right.
It's so hard.
It's very, very much this niche, like, we are into this, we are cool. It's like, when you were younger and you and your friends were super into this indie band. Like, and we are, look at all these other people, they are not cool, they're stupid, they don't understand. This is the real wrestling. This is that, but in wrestling right now. But
there are some indie bands that you want to keep a hold of it because you know that they're going to get big one day.
Yeah.
And they want to claim them first.
And those are the worst, right? When they finally make it big, they sold out. We knew them first. It's like, okay, relax, bro.
But for me, right, this New Japan feels like they want to keep it indie, right? Because like they will never get big. They are like that forever indie band.
Well, no, because they are serving their own market, what? They are not actively like trying to be the alternative to the WWE. They are like, okay, no, we're New Japan Wrestling. This is what we do. We cater to the Japanese market.
There was a point that it felt like they were going to be the big number 2, especially when they had all the foreign wrestlers. Yep. And are they doing some sort of expansion in the US, the New Japan Strong, blah, blah, blah?
Which has been stunted because of the pandemic lah. So.
Pandemic, yes. And of course, they lost their AXS deal. But it seems like they are actually going to do a new deal and they're going to like be able to like air shows again in AXS.
But then, of course, now you have AEW.
Yeah, so like they are distant number 3. Maybe they're fighting with Impact lah, bro.
No, hey, the Impact champion is showing up on WWE. Okay, they mean something.
Impact, bro. Impact is the wrestling multiverse now.
Screw it lah. Okay, so there you go. I am happy, honestly, to take a break from watching wrestling for a week.
Yep. Bro, take a break, bro. We're not gonna miss much. We'll come back just in time for Royal Rumble. Okay, so that's that.
The thing is, all right, so when Wrestle Kingdom finished, Naito came out, challenged Okada, so that's the next match, right? I don't know why, but it feels like, have they fought before?
Yeah, so many times, bro.
So yeah, to me, when he came out, I was like, huh? Okay, Lord, this doesn't seem fresh or interesting at all.
Yeah, it felt like Randy Orton fighting John Cena again for no reason.
Okay, just chalk it up to the fact that they have no gaijin wrestlers.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it was very anticlimactic, and it's a face versus face, so it's not really like stakes or anything. Yeah.
I feel bad. I feel bad that I didn't enjoy Wrestle Kingdom. A, because I paid $45 for it, and B,
bro. I would have given you the advice of just renewing your New Japan World and just pay the $12.99 and that's it.
But also that's another issue because I don't want to pay $12.99 every single month for stuff I will never watch.
No, just renew that one time. Watch New Japan. After that, take out again.
Actually, yeah, maybe I should have done that. Stupid mistake.
Yeah, you have saved the $30.
Yeah, it is what it is. Okay, yeah. I apologize to all our New Japan Wrestling listeners, which I know that we have a lot. But it is what it is, I suppose. As long as you don't try to force me to watch Stardom, can already.
We are still open. Like if they want to talk about New Japan and like try to convince us like why is it so good, we won't turn our back fully, but it's just like a down year. Like it's like telling people to watch WrestleMania like 34. Like it's the wrong year to watch. Like
like where 2 years ago it was a great year to watch. This year is like okay.
Yeah, very hard.
Fair enough. Okay, so what do we have to look forward to? Well, Royal Rumble, the road to that.
Yeah, Royal Rumble's coming up. I think that's the big thing, but it's only at the end of the month, so we still got 2 weeks away. We'll let you know what's gonna happen next week, because right now I tell you, bro, you just watch week to week, right? There will always be a new story coming up.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. And of course, if you haven't already, do us a favor, hit like on the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We have wrestling video content every single week now, and the upcoming one is gonna be very close to our hearts, especially to us wrestling fans here in Singapore and in Southeast Asia. So look out for that. And like we mentioned earlier, we have set up a Patreon page, so come check out our Patreon page. I'm trying to pull it up right now.
No worries. Yes, and clearly, guys, this Patreon page is very important. It will help me with our internet connection.
Yes, hashtag get foreign a better internet connection. Okay, so Any amount is appreciated, and please only if you can. If you cannot, never mind. Come and join the Discord. Link is in the video description. Join, come chat with us. Come, jump in on conversations as to the latest and greatest in pro wrestling. It's our way of communicating and chatting with you guys when we're not doing the podcast. So yeah.
I mean, it will help us. It will help us connect with you guys throughout the week. That's the most important thing.
So I'm just showing you the Patreon page right now. There are several tiers. Each tier has its own perks and benefits. Go through it, stuff like that.
Yeah, I would recommend, like, if you guys want to have your name on the ticker shout out, like for example, Lavi, we gave him a shout out.
Yep,
because
the shadow.
he actually did the mid card. Was it mid card? Sorry.
Yes, the mid card tier. So he's in there in the Discord channel with us in an exclusive channel. He gets early access to our YouTube content. You see it right there, the shadow. In our live ticker shout outs and whatnot.
Yeah. And if you want some kick to the gut swag, you guys want to have own a piece of us, then it will be the one tier after the fact. I think it's like the $14.99, but I can't remember what's the name of the tier. I think it's the upper mid card.
Okay,
like
so the $14.99 is the upper mid card, but the merch is in the main eventer.
Ooh, yes,
actually.
Yes. So yes, if you want to own a piece of our merch, and we might be releasing new merch down the road. The first to go for the the main eventer will get this exclusive mug, kick to the gut mug. And you can drink and think about us while you drink.
You get a new one. You won't get the one that we are drinking out of, okay?
Unless you want pre-order specifically for
unless you want our DNA then that's a different story already. But
no, not in the COVID world, please.
Okay, thank you so much for hanging out. If you're listening to the podcast, we appreciate it. If you're watching this as it premieres on our YouTube as well, thank you so much. You can always jump on our socials, Instagram, on Facebook, but most importantly now, we just launched the Discord. Let's build that community of wrestling fans. And let's talk more wrestling there, okay? I'll be back next Monday, so you'll have to fill me in on all the wrestling news, because I will be on my cruise in the middle of nowhere, maybe watching shows, maybe gambling a little bit, I don't know.
Ooh, bro, don't lose your mind. Don't do a Duke Hudson.
Duke Hudson, stop. Stop it, bro. Stop it. Okay. Anything you want to throw in before we get out of here?
No, we are good. Once again, guys, I apologize for the internet. I hope it's fixed next week. Let's try.
Yeah. Maybe the internet from my cruise ship will be better than foreign's internet.
Yeah, you never know. You want to bet on that? You want to gamble on that?
Yeah, we'll see. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out. It's Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building. Take care.
Kick to the gut. I like it.